So before I really get going in this video, I just want to say that I'm not an anti-work type of person, and I think ambition can be a really good thing. But I think I'm just trying to discuss the balance between productivity and purpose. So that's kind of what I'm going to discuss in this video. I feel like in today's society, we've really confused being busy with being productive. You ever ask somebody, you just like talking with him, like, hey man, what you been doing? And they're just like, busy, man, just busy. It's almost like people are putting that as like a status symbol. I'm always grinding, man. I'm always trying to get that next thing or whatever we're chasing. We're all just like chasing stuff. And I think we just need to slow down. I think maybe this is just my opinion, but just because you're staying constantly in motion doesn't mean you're progressing forward and achieving things. You may just be sort of like a squirrel burying nuts in the yard, and it's really not going to matter until winter comes. It's all about, can you find that nut in the ground or not? That's kind of a dumb analogy. I just feel like we should really look at productivity as a tool and not as an identity. It is important to be productive and to stay busy at times in the day, but there's a difference about being busy all day long and every day of the week and month. So I think too often we're describing ourselves as busy, and at the end of the day, that doesn't mean anything. There's also the fact of what happens when you stop being busy or you get burned out. I mean, you end up kind of feeling guilty. Maybe you lose that self-worth in yourself because you feel like you're not doing enough to progress. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with productivity that I think can create a good conversation. A lot of it is really just the world that we've created for ourselves. Every spare moment is like time that you can grind. That's time that you can build your portfolio. That's time you can be working on the next big thing, or answering emails, or doing social media, because social media is like a business now, and it's always in your pocket. It's so easy to pull the phone out, just look at it and doom scroll, and we're always just productive. I mean, doom scroll is, I guess, not really productive, but depends on what you're doing. If you're like trying to grow an online business or something, well, really what's kind of the difference between doom scrolling or being productive? So there's sort of a gray area when it comes to all this. I'm just saying that there's so much to be said about this topic. We can't even drive down the road, it seems like, and not be productive in some way. You've got to have like a hands-free phone call and talk to somebody while you're working, do a business call, or even at least we often choose the path of being productive, and we'll choose to listen to a podcast. I remember one time I was commuting to work a pretty fair distance, and I was trying to learn Spanish, still trying to learn Spanish. But, I was like, well, let's make use of this time. And it's just sometimes I would just have to turn it off and just enjoy the drive, listen to the engine, listen to the wind coming through the window, or do something else. Just let your mind relax. And maybe at least while you're driving, that's probably a good start. Maybe don't try to be productive behind the wheel. Why do we have to have every spare moment of our lives as time for us to do something, this is time that we need to use? And every job wants to be productive. Every business wants to make more money. And a lot of people's sole job is to cut the fat at the company. That's their job, is to make the company more productive. But just where does it stop? It's an ever growing, ever increasing economy that we live in. It has produced a lot of abundance. Everyone is profiting from this. Just like all this profit going around and all this money, but it just feels like nothing's ever really finished. Not that it should be finished, but there's just more, take. Everything is about just shoving stuff in your face all day. Even me, like planning this video all day, or thinking about how I was going to talk about this video. It's just like, why am I doing this? Why am I choosing to spend my time? Is there not just some time you can take to just go sit and just listen to the wind, watch the night sky, go up on a mountain and just look at the view, or just, if you can't do any of that, you can't get outside, just sit, close your eyes, and just try to listen to the quietness, listen to the hum of the air conditioner, or listen to the buzz of the light bulb, or just listen to the wind technology was supposed to save us time, right? Or at least am I thinking about technology in a wrong way? But it's just like the typewriter, versus the computer. I grew up actually typing on a typewriter when I was very young. You'd have to, like, if you wanted to delete stuff, you had to get this little paper and put it in and type the same letter that you wanted to delete over the letter that you wanted to delete. So it's much easier to type now with a computer. So you'd think, oh, that saves us time, but it doesn't, because now we just find more things to write and we can communicate more. It's better. It's certainly better, but we're not like using technology to slow ourselves down. We're using technology to like push ourselves to the edge of this cliff in which we fall further and further into this matrix that we're building. And I'm just trying to get through the matrix like everybody else. That's what I'm doing on this YouTube channel. I just come on here and I just talk. I got a few notes for this video, but a lot of times I just spitball. And is this productive? I don't know. Maybe time will tell if this is going to be something that's productive or worthwhile. Maybe one day I'm going to look at this whole video and just be like, man, that was a huge waste of time. Or maybe this was the greatest decision I'll ever make. I kind of doubt that, but it's a weird world we're living in. But we're all just like deciding to go down this path of occupying our time with all these tasks, with all these jobs that don't really do much for us in the end. I mean, they keep us busy. That's for certain. They definitely keep us busy. But where's it all going, man? I think there will be a day in which we're going to celebrate all of the technology and we'll truly be able to relax, and we're going to have an understanding with technology that allows us to live a much more free life. I hope so. I mean, it's too easy to go down the path of darkness and talk about go off on a tangent about some dystopian sci-fi movie type scenario. But we could come to a crossroads with technology and really use it to do a lot of the shit jobs for us, right? A lot of the busy work is necessary busy work. But I think that's not really what I'm talking about in this video. I'm talking about why we choose to be productive so much and so often. And just ask yourself, is it really helping you? Is it really helping you to over-organize and create this new thing, this new side hustle, this new thing that might pan out? I mean, that's the world that is now. That's the world in 2026. But man, just take some time. Can we just take some time to chill out? I think everybody would be a lot less on edge and be a lot less anxious if that were the case. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It also seems like yesterday's productive output seems like today's expectation. And I can tell you an example of this. So when I started working at Amazon, it was about a year ago or so. I don't work there anymore, but on my first day working on the floor, they gave us a couple days training. It was very strange. So a couple days training, and we just all got this phone thing. It's like a tablet, little tiny tablet, and they called it a device. Grab a device. So we grabbed a device, and it's like a little phone. But we just did this 2-day training, and we all just sat in this room looking at this device, and it was very strange. But anyways, we learned how to do the job. We got out on the floor, and we were doing the job, and they had somebody other workers. It wasn't even a supervisor, but it was just somebody else who had done the 2 days, a few weeks before. And they were like, hey, you're doing really good. And then this one girl came over and she's like, hey, let me just tell you. She was whispering to me. She's like, hey, you don't need to go that fast, because if you start going that fast, then they're going to expect it. They're going to expect that for you tomorrow. So now this is you need to kind of just slow down on your first couple weeks. They're not gonna get on you the first couple weeks. Just kind of take it easy, because then, come week 3 or 4 or a month from now, you can you won't have to work so hard. But if you work real hard from day one, they're going to expect that. That's your baseline now. And I was like, that's actually the best advice I got, because at the end of the day, I was getting paid by the hour. I don't see any more money for, loading more boxes or stowing more boxes. So what's in it for me? They get all the profits. Why am I going to bust my tail for them? And it's just, that's the world, man. They've tricked us all into this job. I mean, Amazon aside, that's the way of the world. That's every job, though. That's every job that you take as an employee. That's the name of the game. They're just trying to get you to work as hard as you can and pay you as little as they have to pay you to stay there. And I mean, everybody needs to understand that, and that's the way it is. But it's just a hyper productivity world, and it just seems like we're getting less and less for our work. This is exactly what working at Amazon was like. Imagine you're running on a treadmill that has an infinite speed on it, and you're running as fast as you can on this treadmill. That's you doing the work at the warehouse all day. And somebody else has the controls to the speed, and they're just turning it up. And they're also telling you that you're doing great. So they're on there, they're turning it up. Wow, Mike, you're doing great. Wow, you're doing great. And they just keep cranking that speed up, and you're just like, thanks. And you're just running, thanks. And then before you know it, you got to quit Amazon, man. You just got to quit. I mean, because if you don't quit, it will break you. But back to like the conversation of productivity, it just feels like rest is something that we have to earn. And it's not something that we look at anymore as something that's necessary to keep going. It's something that we almost feel guilty about doing. It's just like, why do we need permission to just exist, just to be? Let me just kind of step back from this. I can probably, when I relax, I don't feel guilty at all. But I think if I had kids, I'm single, I don't have any kids. I'm 39, I live at my parents' house. I'm living a privileged life. That's the facts. But if I had kids, I can see how people would feel guilty about relaxing, because they feel like they're taking away something from their children. So in that respect, I get it, and I respect it. I respect the hustle that other people have, and the amount of work that they put in, and just how that mentality of being hyper productive has gotten into their minds. But I think it's important for them to just think about that. Is it really helping you out? Because your kids see you as, I mean, this isn't everybody, but I'm creating a hypothetical person here. I'm not thinking of anybody that in particular. I'm just saying that your kids might view you as somebody that's always stressed out and burnt out, and that could negatively affect your relationship with them. So just, is it worth it? Is all this hyper productivity and being busy all the time, is it worth it? That's the question. That's the real question of this video that I'm trying to get you to ask yourself. What are you optimizing for? What's the end goal? Is it more money? Is it more free time? More recognition? I think a lot of people just optimize without ever defining the goal. Oh man, life isn't like a project to complete. There's no deadline, and we don't even know how much longer we have. If you're always busy and always productive, then it means that you have less hobbies, less interests, less time with friends and family. And those things are important, man. Those things are stuff that a lot of people wish they had spent more time doing. If you're the type of person that has done anything that is out of the ordinary, or traveled a great distance, or traveled anywhere far, or done something like that, when you talk to people that are older that haven't done it and you tell them about it, in my experience, they'll say like, I always wish I would have done it. I always wish I would have done this or that. And yeah, I think they get caught up in the world and just try to stay busy. It's hard for me to think about some key takeaways from this video, but I think if you can just end the day and ask yourself a few questions, like, did I spend time on what matters today? Did I help anybody today? Did I learn something today? And did I enjoy the day? And that's my favorite one. Did you do something today that you enjoyed? Like, if you had to live this day over again, what part of the day would you enjoy? Could be something simple. I mean, I know you got to work, might have to work 8 or 12 hours a day or whatever, but in the interim of that, you got to find something that you can enjoy. Even if it's just as simple as like petting your dog for 10 minutes or walking down the street or getting outside and looking up at the blue sky or the night sky. I mean, there's just so much to see and do, so much to think about, and it's just fun to take a step back and stop being so damn busy with everything, man. Everybody just slow the F down, please. That's just what I think, man. I'm just spitballing in this video, but I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is Just Mike talking. We'll see you in the next one.